Welcome back. The Camels Film Society's Winter Film Series kicking off this Thursday night at the Paramount downtown. A great lineup of films. Joining us to talk about it, we have Tom Friedman and Terry Ann Wilson. Welcome back to the show. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes. Kicking off the series this Thursday night is Faces, Places. Who would like to give me a little rundown on it?
I can start out.
Okay.
We've got a French New Wave, original French New Wave filmmaker named Agnes Varda, and she is now in her 90s, and she teams up with this really interesting visual artist who goes by the name of JR, and they travel around France, and they've got this massive printer in a truck, and they meet all of these different people and they have their portraits taken, and then they do these large-scale installations wherever they go, and it's that's sort of the brass tacks, but you know, I think one of the things we really want to share with people is this is going to be one of those documentary film experiences. It's got a limited release this Friday, or this weekend rather, and people that don't get to see it will be sorry they missed it, because everyone will be talking about how amazing it is, what an amazing experience it is. It's something really, really special and really, really different. That's always been this filmmaker's hallmark, is to create films and tell stories in unique ways.
Yes.
And it deals with all kinds of themes, obviously. When you're in your 90s doing a film project, you're going to be facing issues around your own mortality.
Sure.
But you know, this is also about sort of the collision between the old ways as they tour through these ancient villages, and some of these old ways of colliding with new technologies, and how this is affecting people, and how it's, you know, deconstructing old ways of life, and how do we preserve that, and how do we celebrate this concept of sense of place, these places that are so important to us. Mm-hmm. What would you like to add?
Yeah.
Because it's quite a high concept film.
It is. Well, certainly a sense of place is very important, and these visual artists help the villagers see their own places, their own homes in a different way.
Absolutely.
And that innovative way. What's also really engaging is the relationship between these two artists. One in his 40s, and as you know, Terry Ann mentioned, Agnes Varda, who is 90, I think, when the film was made. You get this wonderful, engaging humor. There's a lot of humor in the way they deal with each other, as well as the way they deal with the subjects. And you see just delightful responses on the part of these young people, old people, are just so happy to have their own experience, and their own physical faces are suddenly portrayed on these walls. The installations are these huge wall installations.
Okay.
And they see themselves in very, very different new ways. And I think that's what's really refreshing about this documentary.
Okay, let's take a look at the trailer.
Moi, je n'ai pas oublié les images de tes films. Le visage de Cléo.
J'ai adoré voir depuis le train les yeux que tu as collés sur des containers. Ce qui est drôle, c'est qu'on ne se soit pas croisés depuis le temps. Le truc rigolo, c'est qu'on va faire un film ensemble.
Bah ouais, c'est ça le point de départ.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'on va faire?
On va faire des images ensemble, mais autrement.
Tu sais, c'est avec ce camion que je pars partout dans le monde. Les gens y entrent à l'arrière, comme dans un photomaton, et la photo sort dans les 5 secondes sur le côté, en grand format.
C'est ça, on apprend à se connaître. Merci d'être venu. Je dis bonjour qu'aux jeunes.
Bah oui, parce qu'ils sont à ta taille.
Chaque visage a une histoire. Je sais pas quoi dire.
Did this take place in France, or were there other countries involved as well?
In France, and all in small villages around the French countryside. This film received one of the most prestigious awards at the Cannes Film Festival.
I'm sure.
It's called The Golden Eye, and it's dedicated to documentaries as chosen by the viewing public at Cannes, not by a jury of professionals.
Sure.
So, you know, people just absolutely love this film.
Yes. And so, like you said, this is a limited release on Friday. It's not just going to be everywhere.
No. And I think that, you know, that's one of the things I always find too when a film comes out, when it's under those circumstances and then you don't get to see it, it can be very frustrating, because then if you try to see it again, it can be hard to get access to. Not everything gets this easy broadcast window, you know, and,
Sure.
and pops up on Netflix. So I think it is really important for people to get out and see this opening film for the winter series, because it is something truly special, truly unique. And you know, I think a lot of times you go to a movie and you go and you're entertained and you forget about things for a while, and it is a movie that you've maybe seen before. Nobody's seen this movie before.
Right,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
seems like it must be one of those ones that keeps you thinking afterwards a little bit, which you
Yes.
want, right?
Right.
Fantastic, guys. We are out of time. I so much
Yeah,
appreciate you
sure.
being here. Tickets, as usual, can be bought online. You can also buy them at the Paramount Theatre ahead of time or at Movie Mart downtown. So lots of options there.
Yeah.
Again, this is set to screen at 7 o'clock on Thursday night at the Paramount. Quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.